Welcome to Sleeping with Sarah. I'm Sarah Albritton. I'm a narcoleptic and comedian in Chicago, and this is a podcast where I invite people into my bed and we talk about sleep, dreams, life, comedy, whatever else we feel like talking about. This is our first episode, and I want to give a shout out to Josh Bryant, who wrote the music, and also my first guest, Amanda Lynn. She is a producer of Secrets, Lies, and Alibis and Ego Trip Club in Chicago, and you can catch her on Friday, March 4th at North Bar at 10:30 on the show Beef. You can follow her on Twitter at Amanda Lynn Deal. Let's get started with the show.
Sarah.
Welcome to Sleeping with Sarah. I'm Sarah Albritton, and this is my guest and friend, Amanda Lynn.
Hello.
How'd you sleep last night, Amanda?
Pretty good. I had the day off, so I slept in, like, a lot. I was late getting here.
It's okay. What's sleeping in for you?
Past noon.
Past noon is sleeping in? And what do you consider, like, early? Is it, like...
Before noon.
Before noon?
Yeah.
So noon is really the cutoff there. It's like, it's either before noon's like way early and afternoon's like, okay.
Like, yeah, good sleep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's true. I love sleeping. I can sleep forever.
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
Literally.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, I have narcolepsy. So it's a sleeping disorder where you sleep a lot randomly.
Mm-hmm.
You know this.
Mm-hmm. See, I do that just not randomly.
It's more intentionally.
Yes. Uh-huh. I'm a pretty heavy sleeper. Like, it takes a lot to wake me up. When I was a kid, I would pee the bed often because my body didn't, like, wake me up.
Oh.
So I pissed the bed till I was, like way too old. Like, 10, maybe.
Like 10?
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude. And, like, at one point, they started to buy, like, covers for the sheets.
Did you try to hide it from your parents? Or
No,
was
they
it...
knew. Everyone knew.
It wasn't a secret at all?
No. Not at all. Because I was a heavy sleeper, so my siblings, I have, like... 3 older and 1 younger, and they would be like, it smells like pee in here, and I'd be, what do you mean? They'd be like, you peed the bed. Like, there was no secrets. So,
wow.
Yeah, they got like the plastic sheets, and at one point we bought this alarm clock that was so loud you could hear it. Like, my room was above the kitchen, opposite end of the house. You could hear it in the kitchen, the alarm. They put it by me and to, like, wake me up to go pee, and it woke up everyone but me. So I wake up to my sisters hitting me to get up to go pee.
Oh my gosh, that's bad.
Yeah, I would, like, get a quarter or 50 cents if I didn't pee the bed.
Oh, yeah, they try to reward you, be like, hey, if you don't pee the bed, here's a little... And was that, like, in terms of allowance and stuff, was that, like, a lot? The quarter, 50 cents?
Yeah, I mean, at a couple quarters, you could buy some candy. So, like, a couple nights without peeing the bed, I was rich in my kid brain. So.
Rich in candy.
Yes, the currency of children.
Oh, man, the currency of children. That's...
Candy, yeah.
Man. Halloween was like the jackpot that was like winning the lottery.
It was, right?
I wish things were simpler then. Like, if only we could pay our bills in candy, right?
Dude.
That'd be so awesome.
That'd be great.
Sounds like something you'd have in a dream. Be like, hey, landlord, here's 3 Skittles.
Uh-huh.
Can I,
Here's a red one. Get yourself something nice.
See, that's something strange that would happen. My dreams are kind of like normal to an extent, and then there's like really weird shit that happens.
Yeah.
Because I'll have dreams that seem very similar to reality, and then it just kind of mixes in, and it's like, wait, is this real? Wait, no, I normally don't pay my landlord in Skittles. No, this doesn't make sense.
I wake up often and I'm like, did that actually happen, or did I dream it? Because it is very parallel to, like, my real life.
And when I fall asleep, like, while hanging out with friends, I totally forget if I had a conversation with them, or my roommate comes home, she's like, yeah, do you remember talking to me last night? I'd be like, nope, not at all. I have no idea what I said.
Yep. I remember we were hanging out at Elliot's house, and you were in the conversation, but you'd fall asleep. And then you'd wake up, and you were, like, back in the conversation, and then fall asleep. And I was just like... like, you could hear what was going on, but you would fall asleep and wake up and be, like, right back in there as if you weren't even asleep. It was just, like, it was impressive.
I think it's a skill I guess I perfected over time. I'm not sure. But, I don't know, I think sleep's really interesting, especially, like, artistic people. I think we all have, like, issues sleeping, or more night people, or that kind of thing. Like, do you find yourself having, like, a regular time you go to sleep, or you usually stay up pretty late?
It's very rare I go to bed before midnight, so I think that's why also I sleep in, because my my whole sleep and life schedule is like shifted more to like nighttime is when I'm awake.
Yeah.
So I sleep during the day. I only see the sunrise if I don't go to sleep, and I'm up for it. I don't wake up to see that.
Yeah. No one's gonna set an alarm to see the sunrise. Gosh. Oh man, it's been forever since I've stayed up till sunrise.
It's fun. I get real loopy.
Yeah.
Those are the golden times of night.
Your favorite times?
Yeah. Past 2 a.m. just get real weird.
Some people say that nothing good happens after 2 a.m.
Those people are idiots.
Or not comedians.
We're like boring and have a day job or some shit. I don't talk to those people.
Those people aren't listening to this podcast. It doesn't matter.
If they are, get your life together.
Yeah, get your life together. Stay up, till the sun rises.
Pay your landlord in Skittles.
Clearly.
Get your priorities right.
Oh, but... No, I think it's weird, having like kind of a night lifestyle. I think it's very different for people, and I don't know, like we aren't normal. We don't have normal schedules, and I think it is kind of boring. Like, cause you get up at like 6 a.m., you shower, you get ready, you go to work, work all day, and then you're exhausted by the end of the day, and then you just eat dinner and go to bed.
Yeah. Well, hopefully those are the people that buy tickets for people like us.
Yeah. Yeah. So please come see our show.
We're so funny. We love you.
No. Yeah. No. Have you ever stayed up? What's the longest you think you've ever stayed up?
I've gone like a whole day without sleeping. Maybe 2 days. I don't know if I've gone like a full 2 days without sleeping. But I used to work, when I was like 19, I worked at a movie theater, I worked at a coffee shop, and I was full-time at school. So there was a couple nights where I would work at the movie theater till like midnight and go hang out with friends, and then not sleep, and then go work at the coffee shop, drink a bunch of coffee, go to school, do all my work, then go to the movie theater, and then like maybe sleep a couple hours and do it all over again.
At the movie theater, just during the boring movies?
No, like just like, crash like on the couch or take a nap, which turns into, it was very confusing because there was times where I would wake up and it would say like 5, and I'd be like, oh fuck, I'm late for work, and I'd like run and get ready and realize it was like 5 p.m. and not 5 a.m. and it would just like it was so difficult. That happened to me so many times.
That's happened to me so many times. I'm like, I wake up, I was on vacation with a couple friends once a couple years ago, and we were at a beach, and we had just like we had hung out during the day, like it was one of those drinking beaches, like where you just get, the whole point is just to go to the beach and get drunk. Great vacation, right? So and I went to go take a nap, and like I woke up thinking, oh, we're gonna go to the beach, and I go into the bathroom, I shave my legs, I get ready to go to the beach, and they're like, Sarah, what are you talking about? It's 8 p.m. It's like, but yeah,
definitely done that.
Yeah,
there was a time when I was going to school and had both of those jobs, and I think it was just lack of sleep. I don't know what it was. And I probably wasn't eating very healthy. I was living off like coffee and popcorn like an idiot.
Well, that's because that's what you got for free. Exactly. Is coffee and popcorn. Like,
I'm made of money. Do what I can. Sneak a hot dog, maybe, if I'm feeling fancy. But there was a time I was like getting ready to go to work, and I started to feel like dizzy when I would stand up during that time. And I started to like black out a little bit. And this time I was in the shower and everything went black. I like closed my eyes as tight as I could and opened them as wide as I could, and it was pitch black. So I like sat down on the floor of the shower for like 5 minutes, like deep breathing, and I called into work, and I was like, I think I'm dying. I don't know. I'm not coming in.
What? You just couldn't see anything?
Yeah, I just like blacked out. But I was like awake. It was really weird. Like my vision went from tunnel vision to just like pitch black. I went to the doctor, and the doctor basically heckled me and was like, yeah, you idiot. And I was like, all right, that's rude. She told me I needed to gain 15 pounds. So I was like, guess who's going to Carl's Jr. Doctor's orders, baby.
That's great. Being told to gain weight.
Yeah.
Oh man,
it was dope.
That would be fun. Those
never
days.
happened since, but
yeah. It's like
cool.
Like when I was a kid, like I had to be a certain amount of weight to like ride this ride. I was like 12. Like you had to be 60 pounds to ride this ride, and so I wore a fanny pack and just put a bunch of stuff in it to make sure I weighed at least 60 pounds to ride the ride.
That's awesome. And you got on the ride and your fanny pack stayed intact?
It did. That's actually, fanny packs I think are the best for like roller coasters and things like that, so you can keep all your stuff in your little pouch.
Yeah. They look kind of dorky, but
they look, I don't have any now. Like I'm not
I feel like they should be called a crotch pocket because they're not on your butt ever. When are they ever on your butt? It's just like,
yeah.
It's not a safe place to put all your
I think
belongings.
people might have originally done it, like, as the back, but then they're like, no, it's too easy for people to steal shit.
It is. It's like
Oh,
the
yeah,
most
you want your
easy.
passport? Unzip, take the passport, you know.
Just asking, like, hey. Sticking your
What,
butt out.
crotch pocket?
Crotch pocket.
I think that's a good way to rebrand, you know what I mean? Instead of fanny pack, go for the crotch pocket.
I'll just come out with it and it'll be the same thing, just different name. People are like, doesn't that already exist? I'm like, no.
Amanda's crotch
different.
pocket.
The Shmanda crotch pocket. I have to go under Shmanda because it's got to be different.
Yeah, Shmanda
My
crotch
business
pocket.
name.
Have you guys had a Shmanda yet?
Shmanda?
What? What's a Shmanda?
Oh.
Shmanda crotch pocket.
Yeah,
Now, what if
cool.
two people like wanted to put their crotch pockets together?
Oh. That's called some kinky shit. I don't know. Rub them together and a small one comes out. I don't know.
Man.
Coin purse.
Yeah. I don't know. That's another weird thing about like sleep stuff. It's like when you date somebody, it's like you feel like you have to like slowly ease into your weird sleeping habits.
Yeah, you kind of have to have the same schedule, or you end up just kind of having the same schedule. Forced to.
See, I snore a little bit, and I realized a couple years ago I dated this dude, and he gave me a humidifier, and he never told me that I snored. But like, it wasn't until like 6 months later that my hookup buddy was like, by the way, like you snore like kind of loud. And I was like, okay. And then it dawned on me that other boyfriend was too nice to tell me that I snored. He just bought me. He's like, oh, his thing was like, oh, I ordered one on Amazon and they gave me 2. Here, you can have one. And I knew, now
Buy
looking
one,
back,
get one humidifier deal.
looking back, it was just because I probably snored and he thought it would help.
That's sweet, I guess.
Sweet, but he
be a
could
more
just be
friend.
like, hey, dude, you snore, but maybe some girls are paranoid about that. I'm not paranoid. I don't give a fuck. I snore. That's just part of who I am.
I might snore. I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely talk in my sleep.
I've been told that I snore like if I like pass out, like really tired, then it's just like drool. Yeah. It's real cute.
Yeah. Love the drool. I used to do that drool a lot in school when I fell asleep. I'd like wake up on my like notes. On my notes it'd be like note, and then it would just be scribble. And it'd be like, I could see exactly where I fall asleep in the lesson. Be like, okay, it gets boring here. That's exactly the point where it gets dull.
That's a good note for the teacher to read your notes and be like, that's where I lost them.
Well, to be fair, like, I slept in every class. I even slept in gym. I found a mat and I would take a nap while waiting in line to do basketballs or something.
Were they like those pea mats that were like red on one side and blue on the other and then thirds?
Yeah. And then they're also the ones that you put out for gymnastics or whatever.
I remember those.
Yeah.
Some naps. Probably peed on them a lot too. I had a whole thing about that.
Oh, for nap. Oh man, why don't they have nap times anymore?
They should. Like you should get like a 15-minute lunch break and like a 30-minute nap time. And you can switch them if you want. If you want more time to eat, more time to sleep, you choose.
I think crabby people just need a nap sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like people, the reason why they're so like bitchy at Starbucks is because they want that coffee because they're resisting the nap. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, working too hard. Oh yeah, working at a coffee shop, man, you get to see a whole different monster side of people. People are assholes, dude.
They're pretty bipolar in terms of like...
It's a drug, and people get straight up addicted to that shit. If they can't get their coffee, like if the line's too long, and they like are late for work because they're an asshole and didn't plan their life, they like lose their shit. Also, there's the people who are always in a bad mood, and they would order a decaf, non-fat, sugar-free latte. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, just sleep 10 more minutes. This does nothing for you.
Like, it's like ordering a double espresso decaf. There's like no point to it. It's like, it's
just dirty water. It is. Let's not kid about it. Just fucking dirty water.
Yeah.
And those people are crabby, and I'm like, well, you either need to drink coffee or just fuck off. Like, you're wasting my time.
Oh man. Yeah, that's interesting. Idiots, right? Yep.
I found out my limit is 8 shots of espresso.
8?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, and then I start to get the shakes, and everything feels
like.
Terrible.
Do you do like 8 shots in a row, or is it just like
throughout a couple hour shift? I started actually before I was like a official barista who got paid. I worked at this coffee shop. They had like in the church. They had a coffee shop, and me and my friend, who both were like just trying to ditch church in general, were like, we'll volunteer. So we just drank a bunch of coffee
to get out of church.
And we're like, let's see how many shots espresso we can do in one day. It turned out 8.
Avoiding Jesus brought you closer to coffee.
Yes. It's true. And a job. My first job.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, at least you got something out of skipping church, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Were you like super religious growing up, or?
Oh, super.
Yeah.
Super sheltered religious. They probably prayed every night for me not to pee the bed, and look where that got me.
Do you think that was just like, oh, it's a sign, we need to work with her, she needs to find Jesus more? Is that the thing?
I don't know, dude. I was in another universe when I was asleep, so like, I don't know. I thought that probably brought me closer to God, was deep sleep. REM sleep, dude. I don't know. But I'm sure they prayed about it. And then realized they should probably just bribe me with money.
Money works, right?
Yep. Turns into candy.
Skittles.
Yep.
I think that should be a new term for money, Skittles. Hey, you got some Skittles? Yeah, I owe you a couple Skittles. No big deal.
Hell yeah, dude.
That'd be cool.
Until someone actually pays you in Skittles, and you're like, son of a bitch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's like comedians getting paid in beer and stuff.
Yeah, which is like kind of like money, because I would probably buy beer and food anyways.
Yeah, but sometimes the money's a little bit better.
But yeah, like the actual money's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, pay your comedians.
Yeah.
In money. And
not
free drinks.
Yeah.
Not Skittles.
Not Skittles. Oh, man, but yeah. So
how weird do your dreams get? Are they mostly grounded in reality?
Some of them are. The ones that are hallucinations are.
Uh-huh.
I naturally hallucinate a little bit when I get really tired. So some of them are semi-realistic, but then I don't know if they actually happen or not. And so sometimes there'll be something little, like I've got one of these like, drawing figure things, right? It's like one time I had a hallucination. I just like I was just waking up and I saw it like do a little dance, and I was like, it was like a friendly kind of thing. But sometimes it's like a scary thing. Like in high school, every morning I used to hallucinate a spider crawling on my leg, and I had a sleep paralysis, so I would be able to see a spider, like huge spider too, crawling on my leg, and I'd be asleep paralysis, so you could see what's going on, or you can feel like you see what's going on, and you feel paralyzed. So I wouldn't be able to wake up. And so every morning, this before they really knew what was going on, my parents would like scream at me so many times to like try to wake up, and like they'd have to like come down and knock on my door in my room and like bug me. And it wasn't until like somebody like physically touched me or like shook me that I'd get out of it.
And you like snap out of that paralysis?
Yeah.
So when you have like sleep paralysis, are you aware that you can't move, or you just can't move?
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah. You can't move. Like, you feel like you're paralyzed. And you're like, fuck. I used to do it all the time at school. And I would, and that's how I knew what was going on, because I would hear what was going on, but I wouldn't be able to respond. And I'd try to, like, gain control. I'd be, like, thinking in my head, I'd be like, oh, get control of your head. Lift your head. I'd lift my head, and then it would fall back down. Oh, wow. So I would try to, like, mentally gain control of my body. But I wouldn't, but then sometimes I'd wake up and do the weirdest things. Like sometimes I would wake up out of it and just scream, because I was trying to scream. In my head, I'm screaming, like, wake up! So like, sometimes I'd wake up and be like, ah! Like, I'd be like in the middle of class sleeping and just wake up and go, ah! And they're just like, what the fuck, Sarah? You're weird. That totally happened.
That's awesome.
But I don't know, they probably just thought I was a weirdo.
Have you ever lucid dreamed?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that question.
Okay,
Have you
cool.
Let me tell. What about your lucid dreams?
Weirdly, they've only happened, and I don't know why this is, but they've only happened right after or right before someone I know has passed away.
Ooh.
Yeah, isn't that weird? I don't know. I made that connection like the third time I had a lucid dream. I was like, oh, the first time I lucid dreamed was when Mike Shapiro passed away, actually. And then the second time was when I found out my grandma was for sure going to die. And the third time was the day before she passed away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What'd you do did they visit you in your lucid dream?
They weren't there, but it was something about, like, in the dream where I was, like, really emotionally distressed. And I was, like, kind of had this feeling of, like I wasn't in control. And, like, everything felt really scary. And then something in my brain clicked and was like, you're in a dream right now. You can do whatever you want. Mm-hmm. And I was like, whoa, I can. And then I was just like fly and all this crazy stuff. Before I ever actually lucid dreamed, the closest I got to it was I was having a dream, and it was kind of like getting dark and starting to turn into a nightmarish. And I had this feeling, and I was like, wait, no, I'm in a dream right now. This isn't real. Like, trying to snap myself out of it. And then everything in my dream like turned against me, because I wasn't supposed to talk about having a dream. Like in that movie Inception, when he realizes he's in his dream, and then everyone in his dream is just like,
yeah, they're like
him.
Attacking him.
Yeah, that's like what happened.
Wow.
I don't know if it was because of that movie.
Yeah,
or
did
what.
you seen the movie before?
I had, so maybe it was the movie, but it was super weird. So that was like the closest I got to lucid dreaming. And then for some reason, after those people passed away or were very close to death, my brain was like, you can do whatever you want. This is a dream. Like reality, like escape reality, basically. It was like giving me a free pass.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's funny. Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
I turned into Spider-Man. I could like fly around, shoot webs. And
oh,
swim.
That's pretty awesome. I like
amazing.
That. That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Oh man, I always fly usually.
Yeah.
I fly, or like I just create things. I'm like, oh, I want my favorite house. I just like create like whatever I want, like the favorite things in life.
That's awesome.
But yeah, or travel to places like that's why I like to fly, because I'll be like, oh, I want to go to Paris and hang out on the top of the Eiffel Tower and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like random stuff that I hope to see, well, actually I've been there, but like I hope to see other things like the pyramids and things like that someday.
Yeah, lucid dreaming is awesome. I wish there was a way to like, there probably is through meditation. I read articles about like ways that you can kind of get yourself in that state, but I wish that I could like do it every night.
Yeah, but that would be a different drug. If someone had like a lucid pill you could take.
Oh, snap.
Someone like, ooh, we discovered, in a Lucinda, or it'd be something like that. Yeah. It'd be like, oh, Lucinda, may cause drowsiness, sleep hallucinations, terrifying dreams, and, potentially, being in a coma for 12 years. that would be like the disclaimer. Yeah, people would still fucking take it though.
Probably. I would. Maybe.
Yeah, that's interesting. But then people would want to sleep all the time and just not live their life.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well. That could actually be dangerous. Like if dreams... And then sometimes when I get really depressed, I want to sleep a lot. Because I'm like, well, my dreams are better than reality right now, so I'm just going to sleep through it. So I think maybe that would actually be a bad thing for me. If I could lucid dream all the time, I might not actually ever want to come out of it.
That's exactly what I do. That's what I do when I'm depressed too. Like I'll just like sleep all day and not like... Because I don't have anything that really... If I don't take my medicine, I could just sleep... 20 hours in a day and it doesn't matter,
So without your medication, you could just sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep. Wow.
All the time. Like, it's like a good way one of my friends told me to describe it. It's like, if a normal person is up for 2 or 3 days straight, that's how I feel all the time.
Oh, yeah, that, like, loopy kind of hallucinating, like you were saying.
Yeah. That's why the hallucination happens. And actually, that's why, I don't know if you know this, but if you're up for, like, 72 hours straight or something, you're considered legally insane because there's so many hallucinations and stuff.
Yeah, I heard about that. Like, yeah, the longer you stay awake, like, it's very similar to being on drugs. Like the way that your brain is acting. Our brains need sleep.
Yeah.
Or, like, our brains never turn off, so it needs, like, an escape out of...
whatever.
I don't know. Maybe it's just like, I don't know what it is, but our brain never...
To like go to the collective consciousness and regroup.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. It needs to be like, all right, reality's crazy. I need to go into wherever I want to go and just chill.
Yeah. It's so weird we spend so much time sleeping though, like, in our life.
I love dreams. I've had a lot of dreams that like have kind of predicted people's reactions, I guess, to things.
Like what?
Like, there's this dude that I was super in love with, 16 through 20, so, like, gross. Like, very formative years. I was an idiot. It was a very cat and mouse type relationship. Whenever I was really interested, he was, like, way too cool. And then whenever I was like, I'm way too cool for you, fuck off. He was like, but you're, like, my favorite person. Barf everywhere. So,
I love how much of a romantic you are, Amanda.
I really am, but looking back, I was like, wow, that was real dumb. But, yeah, it made me stronger and stuff. But I would have these dreams where there was one in particular. It was always had to do with public transportation. Like one time I was getting on the bus and I saw he was on the bus. And I was like, oh, hey, oh my God, how are you? And he was like, oh, it's so good to see you. And I was like, yeah, we should hang out. And he's like, oh, I'm getting off at this stop. And I was like, oh, cool, well, let's hang. And he's like, for sure. And then he gets off the bus and the doors close. And I'm like, tell the bus driver. I was like, oh, wait, I need to get off at this bus stop. And I'm like banging on the door and he just keeps walking. And I tell the bus driver and I was like, hey, I'm supposed to. And he's like, well, the next stop is the station. So he takes me to like where all the buses meet and all that stuff. And I'm like an idiot looking around and be like, where did he go? Thinking that he would meet me there. And he didn't. And then there was something else with like a train where I was at the train station and I saw him and he looked kind of nervous to see me, but then was like, oh yeah, we're totally gonna hang out. And I was like, cool. And I got on the train and then the train went by and he like just walked the other direction.
Interesting.
So I realized, I was like, okay, what this means is like I keep thinking there's something more here and I'm trying to like connect with this person and like go in the same direction, but obviously that's not what he wants. But he's either trying to be nice or he's just like subtly ditching me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Have you seen him since?
Yeah, I actually saw him. He like has a kid and a girlfriend. Yeah.
So weird when your exes have kids.
Mm-hmm. And I saw him when I went back home, like at the bar where everyone hangs out, the cool bar or whatever. And he was there and did the same thing. He was like, "Oh my God, Amanda, that's so cool. You live in Chicago now. You're doing comedy. It looks like you're doing really well." And I was like, "Yeah." And he gave me a really big hug and was like, "It's so nice to see you." And I was like, "Yeah, you too." And I was talking with him and his friend. And then I was like, "All right, well, I'm gonna go smoke. But if I don't see you guys when I come back, like, let me give you a hug." And he's like, "No, we'll probably be hanging out here for a while." And I was like, "All right." Go outside to smoke a cigarette, come back in. They both left. I was like, just like my dreams, dude. You fucking predictable piece of shit. So
Houdini,
I was like, that's
he
fine.
just like left.
Yeah, I'm
Irish
like, that's
goodbye.
his personality. That's fine. That's why it never worked out, because whatever.
Yeah, it's so weird when your exes have kids and all that. Like, it's a weird thing. It's like, oh, there's like a tiny version of you. I hope he's not that much of an asshole. You know what I mean?
I hope this one turns out better. No, I mean, he's fine. He's happy. That's good.
That's
and
good.
he's not for me, thank God. So
yeah. Well, you're rocking the comedy thing.
Yeah, dude.
So, have you got anything you want to plug in terms of stuff?
Oh, well, I run a show with someone I know. Secrets, Lies, and Alibis. First Tuesday of the month, Elbow Room. That is inspired by people's secrets, and we write sketches based on them. We get real weird and goofy. We also book some of Chicago's best stand-up comics. I'm lucky enough to be on the next show with Lazar Usman, Natalie Jose, Sammy Archar, people I love. Also Ego Trip Club, first Wednesdays. That is a themed comedy show where we book a headliner and they pick a theme, and then we book comedians we think would either do well with that theme or would have fun writing new material. And we also try and open up a couple audition spots if people are passionate or interested in the theme. We want people to kind of book themselves or just kind of it's called Ego Trip Club. If you think that you can do it, then let us know.
That's cool.
People who want to perform.
People who want to have an ego trip. So you can basically, the first week of the month, they can just see you 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and Ego Trip Club is at Brew Coffee in Wicker Park. It's I almost forgot.
What's
that with Brandon Kirkman. He's a good guy.
Good guy.
Mm-hmm.
What's the favorite secret you've ever gotten?
There's one that just says tits taste good. I just think that's so funny. Like, I just want to know who wrote that. Just how, like, were they giggling? How serious were they?
Had they just tasted tits?
Yeah.
Like, was it a
like,
review?
Does everyone know this? Yeah, review. 5 stars. Tits taste good.
That would be an interesting Yelp thing.
That would be. Tits. Yeah. Tastes good. 5 stars. He's a hillbilly. I don't know. It sounds like it.
It sounds like it. They just never tried it. Be like, oh, I just thought you stuck a thing in the thingy. I didn't know you could taste them things on the woman.
I know you were allowed to suckle on the titties. Woo!
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was
so
great.
Bad.
Oh, and there's one that just said diarrhea. I was like, is this a secret? Is it a lie? Did you just shit your pants? Like,
I think they just think it's self-explanatory. Just they had diarrhea somewhere.
They spelled it wrong too. But
misspellings. It happens.
I don't know how to spell diarrhea, so good for them.
Yeah.
There's an H in there somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not even gonna try to spell it. I'll look it up later. Maybe I'll put it at the bottom of the screen so I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I know we talked a little bit about regular dreams. Like, what are your actual dreams, like, in terms of, like, goals and stuff?
I am going to live in a van. That is a dream of mine when my lease is up in July.
I love that you have, like, that's a pretty reachable dream right there.
It is. It's some people's rock bottom, but it's, like, me dreaming big.
Where you have a bed in the van? Like, what?
Yeah. So the back of it would have a bed. You can look online. There's some really cool ways to make it. You can kind of, like, build a bed frame. So it's, like, up a little bit, but then underneath you have all this storage. So you're not taking up space with just a mattress on the floor of the van. Mm-hmm. So you can still, like, store all this stuff in there. Tucker was talking to me about, he works in a hardware store, about, like, cool ways that you can make, have, like, your clothesline and then have a thing that goes over certain drapes, and then you can, like, drop it down, and then you have, like, a full closet and then lift it up. So it's really interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool ways to do it, but basically I want to get that van, I want to live in it, and I want to be able to, like, be a touring comic and travel and go wherever I want, because I get kind of anxious when I'm anywhere more than, like, 2 years, probably because my family moved a lot when I was a kid, so maybe it's just, like, ingrained in me. But I don't know, I don't like feeling stuck anywhere, so that way I can just drop anchor wherever I'm at and
That's cool.
Yeah, hopefully tour and go south or west for the winter and keep working on some stuff here in Chicago. And
so that's the dream. That's a pretty recent, like, close by dream. Do you have anything, like, really further down the line?
Further down the line?
Or you want to be just, like, living in a van for the next 10 years? And
not about 10 years. I think I would do it for, like, probably 5 years at the most. Because then I'll be 30 and then I should probably, like, have an apartment. I don't know.
Or a really kick-ass van that you're touring the country in.
Yeah, I mean...
I bet a lot of comedians would love to, like, have a cool van that they can just live in.
Yeah, I would love it so much. So, I mean, from the van, I guess, like, I just want to continue doing comedy in any way that I can. And it would be awesome to make money doing that. In any and every way that I can, basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. It's
tour and make money and keep doing this.
That's fun. I like that. That's pretty cool.
Where life takes me.
Yeah, no, you seem like you would be very comfortable in a van.
Yeah, I look like
Is that a weird thing?
No. Everyone I've told is like, yeah, I get it.
They're like, yeah, I could see you doing that.
No one has been like, Amanda, you of all people in a van. No. It's never been a van.
Oh, my dear.
Oh,
my. They sound like a Georgia.
Yeah, everyone gets it.
Do you think that you'd, like, roll into some towns, they'd be like, what?
I don't know, but that would be hilarious. I'd love to see people's reaction.
I could almost see you doing, like, an old school bus, like hippies used to do. Like, take over an old school bus and, like, paint it.
Yeah.
Just a painting party.
I already wrote, this is so dumb, like, hacky jokes for when I'm living in a van as a comic.
Do you want to premiere some of these on a podcast?
Well, my favorite one, which is so dumb, just be like, so I actually live in a van right now. I'm holding a fake microphone, stop. I live in a van right now, which is awesome. Because I get to, live my dream and be a stand-up comic and tour. But, living in a van can be a little cramped. Like, honestly, I'm just glad to be standing up right now. That's so dumb. Something along those lines. I'm just glad to be standing up. Ugh.
That's pretty cool, man. I think that's awesome. That sounds like fun. I don't know. I'm not sure if the van life would be exactly for me, but...
Ain't for everyone. That's all right.
Yeah, but I like that concept. Well, I can't really drive long distances, so it kind of puts me out of that, but...
Yeah, I don't know. I love... To me, it's just like freedom.
That's pretty cool.
I don't really like... I mean, I'm kind of a hippie, everyone probably can tell that.
Now, how did you go from being super religious to becoming a hippie?
Well, my parents were also, like, super hippies before they were religious. Like, my dad lived in a van and, like... smoked weed and dropped acid and played bass, like, on Venice Beach.
He told you that he dropped acid?
Mm-hmm.
Like, was this part of his, like, I'm gonna save you through Jesus thing? It
was, like, when he found out I smoked weed, he was like, look, I did that whole thing. I lived in a van. Actually, it was, like, a Wonder Bread truck. I'm like, oh, boy. This is the whitest sentence ever. Oh, yeah, you did, Dad. Yeah, you did. And my mom... I don't know if my parents care if I say any of this. I don't care. I love you guys. You're great. My mom, like... was a surfer and a skateboarder and we're like gymnastics. There's this really awesome like 70s video of her and her twin sister and their best friend like on little skateboards that my grandpa made for them doing like gymnastics on their skateboards.
What?
Like splits and handstands and shit.
That's crazy.
It's dope.
That's awesome. We need to see that.
It's so cool.
If I can find a way to link to that video, I will.
It's so cool. And like they like smoked weed and sold weed and stuff like her and her twin sister. So like they were all like, California hippies.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so then how did they go from being hippies to...
They got in a car accident and they were like dating and living together. And I guess like it was a big car accident and their friends who were religious were like, we prayed for you and that's why you survived. And they were like, oh my God, Jesus saved us. We're living in sin. So they like lived in like Bible group homes for like men and women. And
weird.
And like got real involved in church and then had 5 kids and then like they've chilled out a lot as the years have gone by. But yeah, when I was growing up it was like no TV, only like Christian rock or oldies music and like super sheltered. Like I don't get any and I don't care about any like pop culture references.
So nothing like...
Yeah, I mean, like, 90s Nickelodeon is where I started to, like, get into that world, because I'd go to my grandma's house and watch that. Mm-hmm. And The Amanda Show, all that, Keenan and Kel, that was, like, my favorite thing in the world. That's when I was like, I want to do that. I want to do comedy.
So that's how it kind of started.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I was always goofy and hyper and like weird and like would do anything to make people laugh.
And I think everyone is a little weird too, all the comedians. And I think that's kind of cool because we're a bunch of weirdos that get each other and we don't have to like, you know, like, because everyone, I think people tried to do the whole like, hey, I'm going to like put on a suit, go to work, try to hide my weirdness. But like, the cool thing about comedy is you don't have to. You got a bunch of weirdos that accept you.
Yeah, embrace it. It's what makes you fun. Yeah, I wanted to take over the Amanda show like so bad. I was like, once she retires, I'm gonna jump on that. Oh, snap!
Cool. That's our alarm.
Our alarm
saying that we are almost.
Press the snooze.
Yeah. Oh, how many times do you usually push the snooze button?
Oh no! I'll set an alarm for 9 a.m. before I go to work every day, and I'll snooze until like 9:40.
You see, it's almost like, for me, it's like whenever, like, I've had, like, a day job or a specific time to be there, I always think it takes the amount of time that was the quickest day I ever got there. You know, like, oh, it took me 17 minutes to get to work. It only takes me 17, even though, like, that was just a lucky day. Mm-hmm. And it's almost like a race to myself. It's like, oh, if I had to race. It's these dumb little games you do in your mind, and you end up being like, this is the way it is.
Oh, yeah, I'm always late.
But she's still a really great employee, guys.
I am. When I show up, whenever that is.
Oh, man. No, this has been really fun. Is there any other stuff you want to, dreams or anything else you want to say about sleep?
Sleep is great. Cuddles are dope.
Ah, cuddles.
All about cuddles.
Are you a big spoon, little spoon?
I like both.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like being a big spoon, too. Yeah. I like guys have nice shoulders. I like snuggling on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if you have a nice shoulder to snuggle on.
I don't know why I did The Secret, because I didn't say anything. I was just like, it was weird. It's fine. Still want to snuggle? I don't know.
Yeah. No, snuggling's fine. I love the onesie, too. It's very cute.
Yeah. It's totally pancaking my breasts right now.
So she's stacked, guys, by the way.
Yeah, like these are way better.
I feel like we could edit this to be like a dating video. Sell the great things about Amanda. Hey, guys, you know, she might come late to work, but she's great and she's stacked. And
normally her boobs are not so flat.
And you can tell us if she snores.
Yeah, let me know. I have no idea.
No, this has been super fun. So before we head out, I'll plug again. You can catch Amanda first Tuesdays of the month at Secret Size and Alibis at Elbow Room
with this lady,
and Ego Trip Club first Wednesdays of the month at Brew Coffee.
At 7.
At 7. Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me. This was fun.
I hope you have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
Good night's sleep. I need to come up with a catchphrase. I don't have one yet.
It's fine. Sleep well. Or
yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. That was cheesy.
Yeah.
We're just spitballing ideas.
Until the next time we sleep together.
Stay classy.
Oh, man.
Until the next time we sleep. Your bed is very comfortable.
Oh, yeah?
You got Tempur-Pedic pillows and shit?
Yeah. This is when I had a big girl job. I spent a ridiculous amount of money on my mattress, and I was like, well, how am I going to make more money off of it? Not make more money, but how am I going to get more use out of it?
Yeah.
Interview comedians and artists in my bed. So
perfect.
That's where this came from.
You should try and write it off.
Yeah.
For taxes.
Or if a mattress company wants to sponsor me or send me bed stuff.
Yeah,
this is the same bed like I grew up with.
Uh-huh.
I'm doing this because that's the only thing. The bed frame I've had since I was like 11, but like the bed itself the mattress is new. But
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'll need a bed when I get a van, sponsor.
Yeah, seriously.
Van beds.
After we have 5 views, they're like, yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, here's all the money. That's how that works, right?
Hope it was a great conversation, and hope you sleep on it.
Yeah.
Does that work? All right. That's our time. All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
I'm Sarah Albritton, and thanks for listening to Sleeping with Sarah, where I slept with Amanda Lynn Deal. I'm releasing a new podcast every week. Tune in to find out who I have in bed with me next. You can also view the video on YouTube and follow me on Twitter at Sarah Albritton. Good night.